Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Apologies about the appearance. We're currently having a bit of a storm here in the UK. Storm Barry or something like that, or Hurricane Barry. I'm not too sure, but it's absolutely mental and absolutely pissing down. That's why I'm like this, because we've just been shopping and picked up this beer from said shop, from Morrison's, because I thought I'd missed out on the beer festival that they were doing. But I went in there because Mum was like, "Do you want to come shopping with us? We need some food for the weekend." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go along. I can pick up Elvis juice or something if I can't find any of the beers that I want." And yeah, they still had some of the beer festival beers that they were doing. Probably shouldn't really be doing that with the glass while I'm talking. They didn't have the one that I wanted. Like the beer that I was... Very rarely I do this, but I was going to buy like a few bottles of it. And that was the chocolate orange stout from Black Sheep Brewery. I watched Dean's beer review of that, and Dean is one of those guys. I mean, I've done loads of live reviews with him, and I respect a lot of the opinions, or all of the opinions of my friends here on BeerTube. But when he says that beer's good, I know for a damn fact that it is going to be good. So hopefully, if they've still got the festival going on, or just stock that they haven't managed to shift in another Morrison's, I can pick up a couple of bottles. But they still had some available. Some I wasn't like the Green King Mocha Stout and things like that, and some of the paler beers I'm like, I'd rather have something that's going to be a little bit more bold. And I was surprised to see that they had the Cherry Saison, or the organic Cherry Saison, and I've got a very itchy eye right now. The organic Cherry Saison from Little Valley over in Yorkshire, a brewery I'm very familiar with because in Manchester at the Night and Day Cafe, lovely little venue. Doesn't have the greatest range of alcohol. If you want your spirits and your cocktails, then it's got that. I mean, they've got like their house lager, and they have some craft beers, and they've got like a fridge full of Little Valley Brewery. And I always have like a bottle. I think they used to stock a lot of the Salter beers, but I haven't really seen any of them around. You'd think like a place like that would stock a lot more Manchester-based beers. Oh well, it's not really like a craft beer bar, but I go there every time because I love the atmosphere, I love the layout. It's just got a great feel to it. And on most nights they've got like a local band or something playing. I'm playing one or two songs, which is, it's good to be a part of that atmosphere. But most of the bands that play there just seem to be these like safe paint-by-numbers student indie bands, where it's like, it's just appealing to the more female side of things, which is fair enough. Although we did see the time before that, a good female-fronted indie band playing there, which, unfortunately you don't rarely see. I mean, you see a lot more now, but you don't really see it on like the independent scene. It is primarily like student boys. It sounded quite pervy saying that, didn't I? But and they were really good. They were actually better than the shitty American band that was they were supporting. Can't remember what they were called. I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, bottle beer's already open. It's take two, by the way. Yeah, there's something about the Night and Day Cafe that I really, really like, and I've tried through them a lot of the Little Valley beers. And I was going to use my Augustina glass, but unfortunately, another glass bites the dust. This time at the hands of a suicidal vanilla essence bottle that decided to jump right out of the cupboard and land straight on the glass, smashed into pieces. It's like one of my favourite glasses. It always seems to be my favourite glasses that get destroyed, but it's not the end of the world. There's much more bigger problems going on throughout the world. So I'm not too bothered. Plus, I know that the Northern Beer Temple stock them, and the Schlenkerla glasses, so I can buy glasses whenever I want them. Do you know what I mean? But it just seems like every memory that I have of Germany is just crashing down and shattering. Oh well, let's not get too poetic and depressive. Let's pour the beer. I'm using my Castle glass, a beautiful place in Germany in the Hessen region. And so I thought I'd give this one a try, because I've not drank anything out of this one for quite a while. So a Cherry Saison. A base Saison for me doesn't really appeal too much. In the summer, yeah, you get that first quenching aspect, but you can get that from a lager, and you could get that from any cold beer, really, let's be honest. But when I always see these beers and they've got something added, especially when it's fruits, I'm a little bit more inclined to check it out. So intrigued to see what this is like. And beer in the glass, and that is actually quite pale. It looks like you've put a bit too much water in your Robinsons, do you know what I mean? But yeah, lovely carbonation, nice and gentle. There might be a little bit some Bob's sediment floating around, but it's like a pale, sort of like diluted black currant or berry cordial drink look to it. Very crisp and clean. And then it's got 2 fingers worth of a nice white soapy head. But yeah, even though it looks like weak juice, let's see what it smells like. It's more savoury than anything else. I'm really not getting too much cherry at all. Yeah, you do get it, but you have to really look for it. And I think even that head, it's not the biggest, but it's still like blocking a lot of flavours coming out. But yeah, you do get that cherry aroma. Nice and sweet. Yeah, as it's settling in the glass now, it's coming out a little bit more. Yeah, it's coming out quite a bit more now. Let me just see what the ingredients are. Malted barley, black currant, concentrate, and hops, cherry flavour. So yeah, it's... I don't think they've used proper cherries in this, and you do get that like sweet, slightly synthetic flavour. But do you know what? It does smell quite nice. It's like you've got sort of like a lager almost, and you've put a bit of syrup in it. Yeah, lovely crisp malt characters coming out. Yeah, very light on the aroma, light in the appearance. Let's see if it delivers in the flavour. Cheers. Yeah, it's not as in your face as you was expecting it, especially coming from that aroma. And it has that slight, like, flavouring element to it. But it's not overwhelmingly sweet or, like, clawing on the palate by any stretch. You get that sort of, like, yeasty vibe on the back end, which thankfully that cherry element cuts through nicely. But it does have that lingering flavour that I find in a lot of like Belgian style beers, which I'm guess is coming from that yeast character. But a slight cherry bakewell flavour, maybe with a little bit of a frangipane going on. But aside from that, it's not really the most flavoursome beer in the world, it has to be said. Not terribly exciting. It's got a nice sort of like prickly carbonation. Yeah, do you know what? It tastes like I said before, it's like you've got a very basic, simple like lager, blonde ale, golden ale sort of thing. And then you've just put a little bit of cordial or a syrup in there and mixed it round. Yeah, it almost has that like cider element, or even like a snake bite where you've got a beer and then you've put a bit of like a berry cider in there. There's painful memories of a teenager drinking shit like that. Oof, that and vodka Red Bulls, fucking hell. I cannot drink like that now. I just stick to the beer, to be honest. But lots of memories in this video. But yeah, it's got that cherry. Get like a slight raspberry flavour as well. It's it's simple, but it always works against it when it's got added flavours to it that are synthetic and flavourings. Because if they'd have added actual cherries into this, it would have worked so much better in its favour. But you don't know what the deals are like when breweries do these sorts of things for supermarkets. So I'd imagine Morrison's had some say in what went into the beer itself. I don't know. They could do. They might not have done. They might have just said, just brew us a beer, or that sort of thing. I'm not one of those people who likes to put out accusations or things. But yeah, it's just a little bit weak. That's probably my biggest gripe with this beer. Inoffensive, pleasant, but for it being like a special beer, and I mean, they might brew this, not just for Morrison's, but anyway in general. What? That's not even a proper fucking sentence. Yeah, it's just quite underwhelming. But thankfully, there's nothing too offensive in there where you're like, I can't drink this. And ultimately, it's not too sweet, which would have been a big problem. Would I buy it again? No, not really. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend any beer that I review so you can try it for yourself. If you like cherries, you might enjoy this. Is it a great example of a Saison? Not really. It tastes like a lager top with like the cherry syrup in there. That's what it is. It's like a shandy almost. Alcohol's masked nicely. You could drink a lot of this if you like the flavour of it and get a bit carried away. But yeah, it's just it's okay. It's a 5 out of 10. That's what I'm going to give it. So if you've tried this one, as always, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. If you've tried any others from the Little Valley Brewery, which they are a brewery that I do like, don't get me wrong, it's just this hasn't really hit the spot. So yeah, check out Little Valley Brewery down below. I do have a couple more beers from this little line, so look out for those in the future. And yeah, like I said, if you've tried this, let me know your thoughts, opinions. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this one, their links are down below. Check out my Saison playlist. And yeah, check out my supermarket beer play as well, because you can get so many good beers in the supermarkets now. But I say that in every video that's related to a supermarket, so I'm going to cut it there because I'm talking absolute nonsense. Thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later.